Retro Gaming Mania!
In this episode of Snes Quest, we take a look at a game called Run Saber. Released in 1993 by Atlas, Run Saber is a side-scrolling action beat-em-up with gameplay closely mimicking another game called Strider. While you may not have heard of Run Saber before, you've probably heard of the game Strider. Strider was an arcade game released by Capcom in 1989 and later ported to the Sega Genesis and NES. Strider was known for its great graphics, soundtrack, and unique gameplay that allowed players to climb walls and perform many acrobatic feats while attacking enemies. With Strider being very successful on both the Sega Genesis and NES and no release for Strider on the Super Nintendo in sight, a company called Horrorsoft jumped at the opportunity to make a different yet very similar game that we now know as Run Saber. Okay, now that we know a little bit about the history of the game, let's take a look at the story. Run Saber is set far into the future at a time when the Earth is becoming overpopulated and overpolluted. At this time, the people of Earth are thinking there is no hope and are looking at leaving the planet in hopes of finding a new planet for colonization. During this chaos, a scientist claims he has come up with a chemical that can reverse the pollution on Earth and save the planet. The scientist's new chemical of hope is launched into the atmosphere of Earth where it spreads throughout the planet. Shortly after the chemical is spread, humans remaining on Earth start mutating into evil mutants. The scientist, knowing this would happen all along, started using his new mutant creations to take over the Earth. To combat the scientist and his mutant army, a new weapon named Project Saber is created. Project Saber consists of 3 human cyborgs that are enhanced with abilities far beyond normal humans. However, during the creation of the super cyborgs, one of them malfunctions and flees to Earth before he is finished. The cyborg that escaped is named Kurtz, and it is unknown at this time what his intentions are. The remaining cyborgs, Alan and Sheena, are completed and now ready to be sent to Earth to combat the scientist and his mutant army. Alright, now that we know a little bit about the story, let's talk about the gameplay. Like I mentioned earlier, the gameplay is almost identical to Strider, but just in case you haven't played Strider before, I'll give you a quick rundown on how Run Saber plays. At the beginning of the game, players are able to choose between 2 characters, Alan and Sheena. These 2 characters play about the same, but have slightly different movesets and specials. Run Saber sets itself apart from Strider not only because the game gives you 2 choices of characters to choose between, but also because the game allows a second player to choose the remaining character for some awesome co-op action. Players can climb walls and hang from ceilings as they slash their way through hordes of enemies and boss battles throughout the game. The game consists of only 5 levels and is relatively short, but each level consists of multiple minor bosses and then one final boss at the end of the stage, making this game feel a lot longer than it really is. Players can also pick up health packs as well as weapon upgrades and special items throughout each level. The graphics for this game are pretty good, but nothing you haven't seen before. The animations are very nice and fluid with little to no slowdown. The music, while not as inspiring as Strider's, is great and definitely gets the job done. Take a quick listen. The controls for this game are great and feel very precise and smooth. Players control their character using the D-pad. Players can duck by pressing down on the D-pad and jump by pressing the B button. While jumping, players can press up for a spinning attack or press down for a descending slow power kick. If you press the L button, your character will do a sliding attack good for tripping up enemies. Players can press the X button to use Alan's or Sheena's special attack to clear the screen of enemies. Run Saber is a game, while just as good as Strider, never got much attention and went unnoticed by a lot of players in the past. If you're looking for a great, fast-paced action beat-em-up, then Run Saber is definitely a game worth picking up. The game currently sells for around $50 and is slightly uncommon, so pick this one up if you're ever given the chance. Thank you for watching this episode of Snes Quest, and if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.
Ha 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 ha!